Hi guys, welcome to Hairology with Kellie Carroll. And today I want to be showing you a few simple face framing highlights that do not take up a lot of time. They do not even take a lot of product, so that your client can have something a little new, a little fresh, without being committed to an overall color. It gives you like a sunburst effect. So I'm just going to part this off, tell you the steps. We'll do a little bit of the product here, and then I will process, take a pic, and we'll come right back. Okay, so to start, you're going to part off approximately 2 inches off of the hairline. This will give you a nice face frame without going too far back and worrying about a line of demarcation as such. Now you could use any lightener product that you would like to do this with. I have chosen Light Master with Matrix and 20 Volume Developer. But again, you could use any lightener of your choice. And so I'm just going to be clipping the rest of this hair in the back out of my way because I do not need that. This is all I need. Now this is going to look a little something like this around her face. And now I'm going to divide this into 3 sections. So going by her pupil, eyebrow arch, I'm going to come back, take that section, and repeating the same on the other side. And that will give me 3 sections across the front. And I'm going to take that, clip that back as well out of my way. Now, here's what we're going to do. In this section, I'm just going to work a little backwards here so that you can see. I have some foils already pre-cut. We're going to be putting 3 in each side, and we're going to be putting about 4 in the top. So when you go along the hairline, you want to pull out lightly. You do not want that to be extremely heavy. For the purpose of, if your client wears their hair back, they're in a pony, you don't want it to be striped looking. You want it to be very subtle and very sunburst. So we are going to lightly weave very fine. So what that would look like, I'm leaving some down. You can see through that quite a bit. Place my foil, and this you want to get as close to the scalp as you can. The rest of your highlights that you're putting in really do not have to be all the way to the scalp because they're just going to marry into the rest of the hair. I'm going to apply my product just so. I like to go down just a little bit to allow for any bleeding that may happen or swelling of the bleach, which we do not want. Mannequin work is always a little bit harder to do, but times like this, we do what we can. Your clients will love this little bit of a change too. It just gives them something to brighten them up. It's gonna be great after we get through all of this quarantine most of us are in, all of us are in, should I say. This will be nice. Okay, so we're gonna skip back to the second section, and we are at a diagonal. And the second section, you are going to do a fine weave. And then, what's left out, you are going to back comb. Just push that in a couple of times. Fold your foil over. And we're going to kind of lightly place that vertical on the hair. So we're not really going in at the root. And we're getting some of that back combing in there. So it's going to be a sporadic little sprinkle as it comes down around the highlight. And remember, the thicker that you place your product, the quicker the lift. Just make sure that the viscosity of your product is thick. We're going to do the same thing on this side, a little heavier of a weave, back behind it. And this time I'm only going to push a couple of times, so it just leaves me a slight bit of hair coming out. Again, I'm going to vertically place that onto the hair and to hold. Now this is something that you could do on someone's lunch hour per se, an extra added service that you may have in the salon. It's very good for that. So it can be quick and easy. Just gonna move her over a little bit so you can see this side. We're going to be doing the same thing. Add a diagonal, leave out your hairline. Very fine weaves. And again, as close to the scalp as you can possibly get. Because that's what they see on their hairline. And when you make your packets, you can make them either way. I'm gonna make them different on both sides. This one I left them long. This one I'm gonna make them more of a square. Just do not squeeze them very tight because you want the air to move through your product so that you process and you're not causing it to be very tight and bleed out. Okay, I weaved. Then I'm going to back comb. Another foil. The back comb is included there. I'm applying my product vertically, so it kind of gives it a little bit of a smudge, and then comes down. And our last one for the side, diagonal. Let's go through and weave the same spot. Pull that back. We're only going to back comb a couple of times. Sometimes it's managing. Oh, let's try this again. Okay. Now we are better. Okay, and for the front, to turn her slightly so that you may see her. I'm going straight across the hairline. And I'm going to put in a little thicker than I did on the sides, but I'm still keeping it very fine and controlled because you want that to look as natural as possible. So I'm going to leave a heavier bang. And that's because she has an asymmetrical bang already. I mean, it doesn't have to be that way if they don't have one. I like to start applying my product here and then push the product up. I think it gives a better result. Now, when I'm applying that on the hairline, I do not like to move this foil very much so that we don't have a chance of anything moving or rocking. So I kind of just raise it up. I tilt it to the shape of the head where the client can see. And typically, I will put like a small clip. I love these clips, by the way. These are by Product Club, and they are flat with like a little rubber coating so that you're not putting the metal to the hair. They work great. I love them for hair cutting, coloring, and everything. They don't hold a lot of hair, but they're great for your small sections. Okay, so we're gonna proceed back to our next section, and I'm going to do a big weave. And with that, big weaves mean inconsistent sizes of your strands. So I have thick, I have thin, I have a small, and because she has an asymmetrical bang, the heaviness of that is going to fall that way. A lot of times you design the color around your haircut, which is fantastic. Clients love that when you can just, you know, design it for them. It's custom made for them. Not everybody wants to walk out with the same look, of course. Okay, and then your next two sections, you're gonna be parting this off. We're gonna do a little bit of our back combing so that we make it a little smudgy at the scalp. So you are going to do your weave. As you do that weave, I back combed it probably about 4 times. Her hair is a little slick, so not every hair is getting in there. Gonna hold the hair down, starting to apply it there. Okay. And there we go. So you could fold your foils like this. You could fold your foils like this. In the front, they pretty much have to be like this. So you can decide which way works best for your client. You can even kind of fold it up so that they could see if they were reading or such. So a nice simple look, easy breezy, and we will be back and I'll show you the finished product.